We're going to do problem number 27 from exercise section 3.4 of Singapore Math 1A. I'm going to read the problem. Alice baked a certain number of pies. She gave 1/8 of the pies to her friends and 1/4 of the remainder to her neighbor. She was left with 63 pies. How many pies did Alice bake at first? So we're going to use the method where you draw a number of boxes to represent units of pies. And the way we know how many boxes we have to draw is we have two fractions that we're given. 1/8 of the pies to her friends and then 1/4 of the remainder. So to be sure we have enough boxes to work out the problem with whole boxes, whole units, we need to multiply the denominators. We have to have 32 boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is one of the disadvantages of using this system, that sometimes you have to make a lot of boxes and it takes a long time to draw 32 boxes, which is why I'm not a huge fan of this technique. So here's our 32 boxes. And so this represents the 32 units of pies that she started with. We don't know how many pies are in each unit, but we know there are 32 units. Each unit might be 1 pie, could be 3, could be 7, we don't know. So first, she gives 1/8 of the pies to her friends. So 1/8 of 32 is 4. So these are the pies that go to the friends. Now we have the remainder. Well, if she gave 4 units away, she has 28 units left. So she has to give 1/4 of the remainder to the neighbor. 1/4 of 28 is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is the neighbor. So we have 4, 7, and then obviously all the rest of them is 32 minus 11. So all of this together is 21 units left. She was left with 63 pies. So we know that the 21 units equals 63 pies. Therefore, in each unit, 3 pies. How many pies did Alice bake at first? Remember, it's very important to read that final question. So you don't answer how many pies she gave to her neighbor or how many pies she had left at the end. We want to know how many pies she was left with at first. So 1 unit is 3 pies, 3 units, 96 pies. Alice baked 96 pies. And that's our answer. Now, for those of us who do not want to draw this diagram with 32 boxes, we have the second technique. So we make a diagram with just 2 boxes. And this is the total pies. And this, Alice gave 1/8 of the pie, so 1/8 friends. And then we have the remainder that she didn't give to her friends. Very important that we write down this number that we know, because the total has to equal 1. Then we make a second box for the remainder. And she gives 1/4 of the remainder to the neighbor. And 3/4 of the remainder is left at the end. And we know that that equals 63. So, if we want to know how much the remainder is 3/4, or sorry, the pies that are left at the end is 3/4 of the remainder. 3/4 of 7/8 equals 3/4 times 7/8. And that is 21/32 of the total. So 21/32 of the total she started with equals 63. And then we can divide, you can do this, the easiest way to do this is to just take 21 out of each side. So we just divide both sides by 21, and then we have 1/32 of the total equals 3, and therefore 1 total equals 3 times 32 equals 96. So we end up with the same answer. I think when you look and you say, oh my God, I got to draw 32 boxes, then that's a good time to kind of go to this second, faster technique. If you can handle multiplying, keeping in mind the fractions, figuring out the fractions that you have to multiply, multiplying the fractions and solving it that way.